And so the old saying goes, and I think we've all probably heard this saying before. It's like, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. Now, the reason I share that with you guys is because just fundamentally, I don't believe that at all. Right? I think in the world of sales that there are conditions that we can control to maybe not make every horse drink, but to make a lot of the horses drink, right? And as an analogy for like getting people to buy from us. And so I want to kick this off by defining a couple things, all right? So someone help me out. What is the definition of selling? How would you define selling? We've got a small enough group here. Just feel free to unmute. Someone jump in and help me out here.
Somebody that have a problem, that you can resolve the problem with the solution that you have.
Okay. Anyone else?
Convincing someone of an idea.
Okay. Was that you, Lou?
Or directly.
Okay. Anyone else? Let's get one more try.
Fulfilling a need.
So the way I would define it is just maximizing the likelihood that someone buys. Okay. And I think all three of you guys that said something, it fits into this box, but all we're doing is trying to maximize the likelihood that someone buys. And so having a sales process doesn't mean that we have to be, robotic, AI scripted, robots. Like, we don't have to be a bunch of vendors walking around spouting the exact same things. But when we have a sales process, it'll allow us to have this step-by-step sequence that is inevitably designed to create those conditions where it becomes the most likely behavior. And when I say the conditions, right, where buying becomes the most likely behavior, we'll go back to the horse analogy for a sec. So the reason I believe it's fundamentally just not true that we could lead a horse to water but not make it drink is because we can control conditions, right? We could deplete the horse of food and water for an extended amount of time, and that's probably going to make it more likely that the horse drinks. We could put it in a controlled environment, like in a room. We could crank up the temperature, right, like a sauna, and it would make it more likely that the horse drinks. You could salt the feed that the horse is eating from. Like, there's all these different things that we could do to create those types of conditions, right? And sales is kind of the same exact way, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. And so the third definition, or the third thing that I would like to define here, is like, what is a salesperson? And if selling is maximizing the likelihood that someone buys, and a sales process is just the sequence designed to create those conditions, then the salesperson is just the one that actually runs that process, right? Who executes the process.